Hi, I'm Brian DeMambro, and welcome back for another in our series on antique maps and cartography. Today, we're going to look at a mid-17th century map of the Americas. This is part of the Mercator series, Janssen Mercator. It was published by Cloppenburg in Amsterdam. For us, what is perhaps most interesting to our modern eyes is this strong westward jutting of the west coast with only place names. We see that there's no hint yet really of Alaska in the north. The entire interior is left blank, reflecting a lack of knowledge. We see an erroneous mountain chain running east to west across the interior, which is also erroneous. In the region of modern-day Michigan, rather than a series of Great Lakes, there's one giant lake with a series of small islands. The East Coast is distorted. Florida's truncated with what appears to be a series of tiny islands in the south. South America is also interesting. There is the giant mythical lake here of Parime. And this is the location of the fabled city of gold, El Dorado. There are tall-mast sailing ships, as well as two sea monsters, one in each ocean, and a simple strapwork cartouche at the bottom left. Perhaps it's interesting to note as well that the back is blank. Numerous versions have printing. The first place that we would begin looking for this map would be in Philip Burden's monumental two-volume set, The Mapping of North America. Here he has personally examined and documented all the states he could find of every known map from the earliest printed up through this second volume here stops at the year 1700, I do believe it is. So this map here for us is number 224, and he's actually got a picture of it. He dates it 1630, but there are numerous states of it. He calls it an uncommon map in the Mercator Hondius series. This particular version that we have in our possession now is not noted here, but it is perhaps likely a reissue of an earlier plate that just appeared in a Cluverius geography from 1661. So that's the first place that we would look. He mentions Coman, and he's referring, of course, to this monumental Atlantes Neerlandici series of books. There's 6 volumes. We have 5 here. The 6th is in our reference library. It's for later atlases. But he mentions it as 205 through 208, and what he's referring to here is where Coman has identified the holdings of various institutions. The nice thing that Coman has done, which is most helpful, is he's done a collation, and we see that this map appeared late in the atlas, number 173. We should point out that our version did not actually appear in this particular state, but this state does indicate that there are, in fact, numerous versions of it which appeared. We can also, if we wanted, look in Tooley's Dictionary of Mapmakers. This is more of a brief biographical summary of each cartographer, engraver, or publisher. And here we see Cloppenburg with a couple representative dates for various publications, but the truth is, of course, that a biography just of Cloppenburg could extend far beyond that. Another reference which might be useful in some context would be this Tooley's, The Mapping of America. Here, he has a series of chapters, including, of course, California as an island, Smith's Virginia map, etc. What interests us is the sequence of maps of America, and there we see this map appeared in various printings over a series of years. These are folio, small folio versions. Ours is a reduced version, but it is still useful for placing this map in the context of its original usage. And that is, in a nutshell, just a very brief overview of how we would begin the process of researching that map. See you soon.